What's up, party people? This is Aktane, and I'm doing this video to talk a little bit about Guxt. It's a game that I discovered this year, and it came out in 2007. It's made by Daisuke Amaya, who is also known as Pixel, Studio Pixel, the creator of Cave Story. It's a fantastic vertical shooter. I like it very much. It's not very long, and it's completely free. So what you're seeing right now, I'll put a link in the description, is a fan site for Cave Story, where you can find this game and download it, including the soundtrack and a couple other things about the game. Or you can go to Studio Pixel's actual website. I can put a link down that below as well, and go pick up this game. From what I understand, it's Windows only, and it's completely free. And I think it's a fantastic game. If you like Cave Story and you're into shmups, even basic ones, I would just give this game a try. You can pause the video right now and give it a try. I'm going to talk a little bit about why I actually really like this game, and especially as a player newer to the genre. I've only been into these games for about 6 to 7 months now. You know, I only have a handful of 1cc, so this is a completely doable game for a beginner, and I think there's quite a lot of really good content in this game. So I'll tell you a little bit more about it. So before we get into that, I want to talk a little bit about just what's in the package, right? You get the game, which is less than a meg, which is incredible to me. The game automatically stores replays, every single replay, without a doubt. Think about that for a second. There's releases that probably came out this year that don't have replay functionality. This game completely stores every single replay. It's kind of wonky to get the replay working. You have to read the manual, but it stores every replay. It has controller support. You can use keyboard or you can use controller natively. I was able to use my Retrobit Saturn pad, which is like one of these. Off the bat, I just went down, flipped it, and all you have to map is one button. It's a one-button shooting game. So what I'll do here in a little bit is I'll pull up my 1cc run of Score Attack, and I'll talk a little bit about the mechanics of the game and what I really like about the game. But before we do that, I just want you to vibe a little bit on these jams. That's good shit, right? As you can see right there, you can download the MP3s off the bat. You want a soundtrack? You got it. You want this making of, which is really cool. I won't show too much of it, where he'll go through, you can barely see this, but he'll basically go through different kind of thoughts as he started making this game. I won't go too far because it'll spoil the game, and I want to be able to kind of pause and say spoilers going forward. So for those that just want to go play the game, go play the game. Seriously, go play the game. It's fantastic. But there's just so much around this, from replays to controller support to this kind of dev diary to the soundtrack being downloadable. It is the full package, and for a free game, there's not much more I think you can ask for. All right. So let's stop here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start my Score Attack run. So if you don't want anything spoiled, now's probably a good time to pause this video, go play the game maybe. The way it works is if you hit start game right there, you'll play through a normal version of the game, which I just call normal game, and then I'll call Score Attack Score Attack. Normal game is almost the same exact as Score Attack, but you have to beat it to unlock Score Attack. The big difference between normal game and Score Attack is Score Attack is no miss, no death. As soon as you die, it starts over. But this is one of those games where continues are a little rough. So if you do die and start in kind of normal game, you might want to restart. The whole game is only about 12 minutes long, so it's not like a huge undertaking, but it is completely recoverable. So I'm gonna give this a whirl here and talk a little bit about. I'm just gonna kind of talk over this 1cc run of Score Attack, which has the full mode, everything that's in there, and talk a little bit about the game and the design of the game. And I'll tell you a little bit about my feelings as I started to play this. All right, stage 1. What you realize off the bat, movement is real slow. And this game doesn't have it does have a rapid fire, but you want to double tap and triple tap here. So that's the first speed up. And as soon as you see it, you're like, oh no, it's a speed up game. It's like, God, it's gonna be like R-Type or Gradius or whatever, where my ship's gonna suck. But actually, what this game does, oh yeah, I want to pause there and talk about that. That's two different power-ups. I picked one over the other, and you're not gonna. I mean, you might see that weapon again, but you'll definitely have to make that choice several times during the game. We'll come back to power-ups in a second. But the way the speed-ups work in this game, on my first run, it was a no-death run of normal mode. Actually, speed-ups go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then if you get another speed-up, you'll get an audio cue that's you're at the fastest speed. If you get one more, it'll actually speed you all the way down. It's terrifying when it happens. But what you realize about the game is this is not like Gradius, where, I don't know what's happening there, where the speed-ups will really screw you over. In this game, if you get a speed down, the enemies will start shooting slower bullets. The patterns will be the same, but the bullets will be slower, and it'll actually be easier. I actually got a speed down before the last boss on my other no-death run, and I was panicking. I was like, oh my god, I've screwed this up. I've made a mistake, and in shmups, when you make a fatal mistake, you're done. Time to restart the whole run over. And it wasn't a fatal mistake at all. I was able to actually beat the game, beat that boss for the first time, having not seen it, with a speed down where my ship was like painfully slow. So there's the first boss down, and so if you shoot, so that's one of the secrets of the game actually, but I think it's an important thing. If you shoot certain parts of bosses after they die, you will get a shield. And those shields can stack, and eventually it'll go shield, double shield, and then it'll go a rotating option like you know, like a Star Soldier game or whatever. So it's got this shield mechanic in, and so you want to kind of conserve your shield. When you start playing, if you lose your shield, another speed up there, you will, you know, you might want to restart just depending on how comfortable you are. Another set of two weapons. So actually, the weapon that I chose there, not the best weapon for scoring. So let's talk a little bit about scoring. In this particular section, these little asteroid crabs, by the way, I love the enemies in this game. So like flavorful, right, for a low palette game. So if you shoot them while they're still attached to the asteroid, or in other ways before destroying the asteroid, you'll get 20 points. Right there, 20. But if you shoot them after destroying the asteroid, you only get 10. So the other weapon makes it a little bit easier to get some extra points. You'll notice you don't get points for destroying environmental hazards. So like me destroying those asteroids only does me good. It doesn't do the score anything, really. So the score is going to really be about kind of taking down all the enemies as best as you can. And I only discovered this after watching someone else's super play, which I'll link in the video. When you pick up a power-up, oh, that's a secret weapon, by the way, and I want to talk about that in 2 seconds, but when you pick up a power-up, if you kind of pick it up immediately after you de-shield it, you get this bonus point. I don't know why scoring is this way. It's a little bizarre. It's a little weird. But, hey, at least you can't milk bosses and ruin the game, so I think it's a positive. This weapon is really crazy. I've never seen a weapon like this before. The little, like, ghost that you see on the screen, that's where you hit the button for the first time. And it basically creates, like, a pool cue. You'll see it here in a second. It'll, like, create, like, a shadow, and then you can move around the screen as you need to, and you will always aim at that shadow. So you can aim in weird ways that no other weapon can aim, but it's kind of hard. I just gotta get there, by the way. That was me just trying to show off this weapon. And then again, you get shields from bosses, right? That's a level 2 shield right there. You want to make sure you do that. That's something I discovered naturally. Like, I was like, what the hell's going on here? And I just kind of figured it out. The same with that extra weapon. That's this secret weapon that I'm using right now. It's just kind of, this game has some little neat secrets in there. Also, some weapons just kind of feel like they fit the level. You'll know. Remember in that first stage with the double shot? It was like perfectly lined up to that boss. This is one of those weapons that is the same, where it'll kind of line up to this boss. I'm gonna flip this. I'm gonna flip the music to the stage because I really like the stage music in this one. Like, that's good. That's real good. I'm kind of point blanking part of this stage because I want to beat the game. This is my first time beating Score Attack, but you know, if you don't, you can get yourself into some kind of smaller pickles with these orange shots. You'll find little secret hidden bonuses in each level. I missed the one in this first stage. You'll see one here. It's like this little green bird, or orange bird, sorry. And you'll see that. And there I got a speed up. There's another speed up coming up here, and I'm careful not to get this speed up. I like these enemies too. They're kind of Mario-ish in nature. There's just like really neat, like I love this enemy design. And also there's good visual cues for when you're hitting an enemy, so you kind of know what you need to do at any given time. I was never ambiguous. I like these flip over enemies too. These are really neat. Like there's just some genius kind of like dynamic design here. There's that speed up. I pick it up that time, and now I'm completely max speed. The next speed up that I get, I'll slow all the way down. By the way, another secret weapon, this rocket shot. This rocket shot I discovered pretty late in the game, but I discovered it myself. I accidentally did it one time, and I was like, oh my god, that's where the rocket shot was. I wasn't even paying attention. It completely trivializes this boss. You have to actually fight this boss with all the other weapons, but if you find this secret weapon, it's like, here's a couple rockets. Like, he doesn't barely get a chance to even fight me. Which again, there's some, like, I don't know, some interesting sort of upsides to getting some of the secret weapons. I think there's a way to get more points out of this boss if you shoot the side things, which I didn't do. Again, I'm not a big scorer, so whatever. This stage was the first stage I thought, here, I'm going to flip to the music for this stage, because I absolutely love, one, the music, and two, the way this stage is designed. Like, these enemies are well choreographed, and well kind of choreographed to the player in terms of when they're coming up to attack you. But the environmental hazards in this game, the way it's designed, another weapon choice, by the way, are so genius. Like, they're so interesting. I think, I don't want to say R-type, but I think in some ways, a lot of the shmups that I end up playing are very based around their enemies. There's that green bonus guy, by the way. This has enemies, but it also has, like, stage hazards. You know, I don't know how else to describe it. Like, those mines are a stage hazard, kind of, but they're still enemy-ish. You'll see in a second what I'm talking about. But there's, like, level design, you know? There's a sort of... There's places in here where you have to maneuver. And I know, like, hoary shmups are usually known for it, and vertical shmups are not, but this is one of the few vertical shmups that has a lot of level design, like, really well-tuned stuff. I like the Star Soldier shot, for this section. I've seen other people use different shots, but I like this shot. By the way, he did mention, like, if you look in the developer notes, he mentioned about how he really liked Hudson shooters and how they kind of had different shots. So it's clearly an inspiration. Very simple, you know. And the other thing you might notice about this game a little bit is that if you played Zero Ranger, there's things that Zero Ranger really cribs from this game. Okay, there's another weapon choice for me. That's specific to the boss that I'm gonna fight here in a second, but I kind of learned this weapon was, to me, the best weapon to fight this boss with. But anyways, there's things in here that you can kind of see the style of the game, the way the numbers come out, and the way when you get hit, there's like this pause where the game kind of like has this hit stop. That was inspired by this game in Zero Ranger. If you ever played Zero Ranger, which is another fantastic game, I highly recommend it. The style of that game, you can kind of see it. Even just the way the shots are shaped, the way some of the enemies kind of interact, the way it just sort of, there's this like visual style that's clearly inspired by this game. And they've mentioned it, you know, the developers of Zero Ranger have mentioned it. So it's not some kind of like secret or stealing or anything. It's just a really cool homage to this game. I kind of like this boss. This boss is really cool. He gets kind of, I don't say bullet helly, but he gets kind of funky here in this last phase. And if you're playing him on normal and you kind of die, and you get the wrong speed up, the first phase is kind of really annoying with the chains. But this phase is cool. I like how he like showers you down with these kind of, and they will hit you after he dies, by the way. But you notice this boss leaves. He completely leaves. And in the normal game, you don't really fight him again. So that's why I was like, well, something is funky, you know? If you played Hudson shooters, you played like Soldier Blade, you know that one guy was like, I'll be back, and then he comes back. There's something about shmups where you kind of know. Stage 5, this stage, is extremely frantic. This is where runs go to die. Just straight up. If you do not have your shit together here, you will chain die, and it'll be the end of it. I wouldn't say chain die because, you know, score attack, if you die, it'll be over, but I have a shield right now. I lose my shield, or I don't know if I do in this run, but if you lose your shield in this particular stage, I like these enemies a lot too. As soon as you kill them, they come down and they will kill you. They'll hit you completely. So this is what I mean, like stage hazards, interesting enemies, not just shoot the enemy point blank until they die, they'll explode. They can be a threat after they die. And again, remember, environmental hazards don't give you points. So while these environmental hazards are here, there's no reason to shoot them all. You want to shoot the enemies. I leave some of them alive because I am going after the shields. I am living kind of shield to shield right now because I have only been in this stage like a few times, but you know, I'm just trying to frantically get through this, do my best dodging, and I gotta tell you, just the last boss in this game in general, you want this option. Like, if you don't have this option, I'm just not sure. I think that's probably why they have all the shield power-ups in this, because without the option, these orange squares can really corner you, and in general, that option is, I think, borderline necessary for the final boss, and this section. So it makes sense for them to have all the shield ups in here. Ooh, we're at the ending music here. I'm gonna flip the stage 5 music because I really like this music too. But yeah, so, you know, I beat this boss in my other run, which is also a no-death run, by the way, with a complete speed down. I was, like, slowed down to a complete crawl. 100% low. Like, I'm like... But unlike Gradius or unlike an R-type, where you have low speed, you get really screwed, these patterns, I'll compare it. I'll actually pause it and I'll compare it in a second. I'll show you. The patterns change and they're slower. The game rebalances itself based on what speed you are. Speed down can be a strategic thing in this game. It doesn't have to be a detriment. If you're low speed, the game balances itself. It's like a different way to handle rank. It's not trying to screw you over, it's actually trying to fucking help you and change the game. Now, you'll have to micro more. You can't macro dodge everything. You know, you can't just run away from everything with your low speed, but they change the patterns to make it worthwhile. I'm gonna pause right here. I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm talking about. So this is my, I did this live, by the way. This is the same boss. Come on, YouTube. This is the same boss, okay? Low speed. First of all, look at my speed. That's about as fast as I can go. Like, I'm like, I mean, I am barely moving. It's a completely different, there, I got hit. It's a completely different looking fight. It feels different, but it's completely manageable, right? I'm gonna make it through this. You know, this is me playing, so I have seven kind of, what do you call it, lives, but this game does have a checkpoint system. The checkpoints are mid-level too, so like, you gotta, I think it's meant to 1cc, to be honest with you, so it's kind of old school in that way, but I have recovered from checkpoints before, so you just have to play a little bit defensively, you have to play a little bit simple, you know, you don't kill every enemy if you, if you're trying to recover, you know, and you'll make it through, but look how, like, it's balanced. This is totally fine. That's not as fast as it was before. I don't even have the right weapon. I have a completely different weapon, and I'm able to make it through this. You know. Oh, by the way, I'm out of shield here, so one death, one hit, and I'm dead. And I made it through. You know, if you want to play this game for yourself, I would say right now is the time. There's one thing I haven't spoiled, which is the true final boss of the game. And I considered, should I spoil it in this video or not? Should I show you guys the true final boss? And I think I'm not going to. I don't think I will. I think I'm gonna let you guys play it, enjoy it, tell me what you think, sound off in the comments, and suffice to say that you know, get your shields ready, get your options ready, and go tackle him. He's at the end of score attack. There's no mistaking that, and go out there and jack him up and play some Guxt and have a good time. Peace.